Yes, that's right. It's another live episode Saturdays at 7 p.m. And that's right. If you want to like the video. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe. But we are Cardboard Odysseys coming hot and live with another episode of Cardboard Conversations. Bob, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, but you missed one.
Oh, what?
Camera. Oh, it is Irian that's the problem. Oh, wow. How's my audio at least? Hopefully my audio is a lot better than my video.
Hey, it's like they've always said to me, you sound better than you look.
Oh, that's true. Well,
No,
you missed
your audio is
great.
The
membership. All right. So I'm going to do this just to see if I can get this for whatever reason.
Yes, that's right. He's got totes. He's got fans.
Oh.
Speaking of fans, we've got fans like you. And if you want to be a real dedicated fan, you can become a member. Yes, that's right. We are now offering channel memberships for the low price starting at 99 cents a month. Yeah, that's right. Less than $1 a month plus some taxes. So it's a little bit more. Don't talk to me about that. You can get up to 2 hours, bare minimum, of extra channel member only content. Along with that, you get some early videos. You also get some extra stuff we make just for you guys. So come on over after this live show, become a member, join up, and we'll see you then.
Please show us your support.
Hello. Thank you, Daniel, for joining us tonight. And also, thank you, Sherry Vegas. Ha, I beat you to it, Bob. Good to see you, Sherry.
No, I was going to say time capsule there. Uh-oh.
Oh, he's a kitty cat. Oh.
Wow. Technical issues. Generally not a thing for me, but apparently over the last couple of weeks, something I need to diagnose. I'm not sure why it decided to misbehave, but maybe I need to reboot the phone that's actually the camera. But I will try to stick with you all. Obviously, if the audio is good, that's separate from the video. Trying to think if I could maybe try to do something. I'll be on voice here. I'm going to try to do something. I'm going to try to do this live. I don't remember how to turn off the camera so that y'all don't have to. That looks like that did that. That did a thing.
He did it.
I really did it. So, hot stuff this week, Pat, while I monkey with my camera. What have you got?
You know, honestly, what I have not got yet was Edge of Eternities. So I have decided I'm not doing pre-release events anymore. I just don't get excited the way I used to. You know, we preview all the cards weeks, months in advance for the most part, right? Going down to my local gaming store is not the same event that it used to be when I was in high school. I don't know about you or Matt, but I just don't get the same excitement going down to my local gaming store for pre-release. And maybe it's just where I'm at, the select few people that do decide in my area to go down. It's just not the crowd that I want to interact with. You know, for the most part, it's a lot of collectors. They're hoping to show up early, get in on cards that they couldn't normally, right? You know, a week or two ahead of time. Or a bunch of kids, you know, the transient entrance to Magic the Gathering, those new players coming in at those pre-release events. Is it different for you guys, or am I just basing my opinion off of a few select stores that I am able to go to? And again, to reiterate, it's an hour for me to go to 2 stores.
It's a little different for me, being that I haven't really been to very many pre-release events in a long time. Now, obviously, I went to the Final Fantasy for the first time in 20 some odd years, right? I think it's what I
big fan. I know, yeah.
Probably 25 years. So I really don't have the frame of reference that you have, right? Okay, I don't know what I just did there.
But personally, I still enjoy it, but I forgot about the most recent one. Like, it just kind of came and I was like, oh shoot, I remember day of, and normally my friends and I we like plan for that. We're like, oh, we're gonna go, right? And then this time we just didn't.
And honestly, Matt, sometimes when I think about our interactions with Magic, I'm jealous of both you and Bob having such an active play community. I know, Matt, you're often playing weekly, whereas for me, almost always the last time I played Magic was with you guys. So I
we
think
play every Thursday.
yeah, and
Well,
that's a wonderful avenue to be able to play. And I think that maybe that partially influences my reluctance to go down to those pre-release events because it's so out of my wheelhouse.
I mean, this should just get this should reinforce you wanting to go because it gives you an opportunity to play.
I think he's saying he doesn't really enjoy the atmosphere as much as once upon a time he did.
Bob, you got me. Yeah.
And
I will say that most of the people that I play against at the LGS, they're more of a normie than I'm probably accustomed to playing against. So like they'll be like, instead of getting like frustrated that they only have like one land, or like when they get like stomped, they're just like, oh no good game. Like, okay, like where's your emotion at? Like, be angry. You just got stomped.
Oh, Daniel, that's an interesting comment you put there, that you've been playing since 2021. Bob and I, we've had some conversations about newer entrants to the Magic the Gathering community. What is it that keeps you around? A lot of players transition out of Magic after 2 or 3 years. Seeing you come in just after a lot of the COVID hype, what made you stick around, Daniel? It'd be an interesting note to add here.
And also, curiously, what set did you start with? Because that's also interesting to me. Like, what set brought you in?
It's also kind of a not fair question to ask me, Pat. As I've said many times on this channel, and I say it to you guys all the time in the background, we've created a format that's broken me as far as Magic's concerned. And it's pretty much the only way I truly want to interact, and that's Commander Raids. I enjoy co-op play far more than competitive play, and I always have. Really, I've always been a team sport kind of player. I fit right in the military, being part of a team. At work, I'm sort of the my bosses have always told me, you're the premier team player on the team. Not that I'm always the best at the job, but that I foster a team environment, whether it's a team type job or not.
That's one of the compliments I've always wanted to levy towards you. And I don't know if I've ever said it out loud, Bob, but you're a very good communicator. Whether it's positive or negative, you have a very good ability to convey information. And that's one of the great things I love about having the channel here with both you and Matt, is the different angles and abilities that we all bring to it. So thank you again for that.
Yeah. And you know what, as to Daniel's point, there is also a period, Pat, that you may be in the doldrums, right? That we ebb and flow. Matt and I did a revolving door video some years ago on the channel, and people drift in and out. It's very rare that you have somebody, even me, I haven't been full-time on, and neither has Matt, since I started. I started in 1994, and it's been a in and out type of relationship with Magic over the years, and I think that's somewhat natural. Now that comes, I'm not going to give away the cow with the milk. Go watch that video. But in short, you have all kinds of things like your stage of life, your financial position, your love affair with the game, anything personal going on with like relationships with you. There's a whole host of reasons why your relationship with Magic can change, just like with any video game, right? You could be a diehard WoW player for years and then suddenly say, hey, I've got a brand new baby. I don't have time for this nonsense. Or work gets busy, or you take on a new career, or anything could happen, right? Financial situation. So, it's something that you could make a study out of as to why all the reasons why you love Magic or love going to the pre-release or drift in and out of different parts. The nice part about Magic today versus when I started is that there are so many different ways to interact with Magic, right? When I first started, it was pretty much Type 1 and Type 1.5, and that was it.
Yeah, I don't know if I would have ever stopped playing Magic had there been the Commander format, or had I known about and played the Commander format back when I stopped playing. I enjoyed Standard back when I played when I first started. That was my jam, and whatever set Reaver Demons from is the first set I played in. I don't remember what whatever it was first
Risk the
printed.
Redeemer?
No, Reaver
Risk the
Demon.
Redeemed?
Reaver Demon. I think it was from
Reaver
Mirrodin.
Mirrodin.
Yeah, so I think Mirrodin was when I first started playing, because I remember that like stuck into my head for whatever reason. That was the first like rare that I pulled that I was like, this guy's insane. And then I built like a deck with it or whatever. But that was like a standard deck, and I remember getting out of it. I think somewhere around Shards of Alara. It's when I first started like. For me, it was like the first like multicolored set that I remember. And then I remember getting back into it in standard during the Lotleth Troll, which was I don't even know when. Yeah, I remember he was like a Golgari. Lotleth Troll.
I got to be honest. I don't even remember all the times I've been in and out of Magic. And sometimes it's weird because I would go years without touching Magic at all, and then suddenly walking through Walmart or something, just go, oh, there's a few packs. Let me grab those.
I'll return to Ravnica.
Like, it's been a very different thing. And then with, Amazon and being able to order some products
that's a whole
boxes
other
and stuff.
ball of
So
wax. Yeah.
it's a whole different vibe nowadays than when I first started, where you literally only got Magic from your LGS if you had one within reach.
It's funny you mention that. Every time we get on this podcast, every Saturday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., I'm always checking Amazon, right? Because for some reason, this seems to be the time when they put up new products. No, Avatar is not pre-order available yet. I will let you know as soon as we can.
Well, it's not always just new products you've found, Pat. Like, they even had, the Lord of the Ring collector bundles out, but there was just a sudden massive sale, and you're like, hey, these are $59. We both went, okay, hold on, stream. We're gonna go buy some.
Right,
so
right. And it's
been interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, for me, to harken back to the conversation, I think I've had one really big exodus out of Magic. I think I was about 17, 18. So it was probably around 2005. End of high school, I gave away all my Magic cards. I had 2 or 3 chess bureau like drawers full of them, and I just gave them off to a friend, all sorts of everything I had. And I only got back in honestly around Ikoria, Commander Legends, Ikoria. That's where I came back in, and it's just been a totally different atmosphere since then. With the advent of Commander and just the different blocks that I missed out on, there was a huge change in how the game was played. And I love this new addition of mechanics. Along with that, the collectability aspect was never anything I thought about. I remember trading a foil Phage the Untouchable for like 4 Prodigal Sorcerers and a handful of Slivers, just because that was the cool thing to do. Turn Tim sideways, he does his work. And it's just changed so much since then. And that's one of the really exciting things about Magic to me, is these different facets for people to interact with it. Whether it's players, whether it's collectors, whether it's the diehard, I want to do as hard as I can circuit players. It's definitely evolved a whole heck of a lot since the early 2000s when I was really into it. So for me, that 15-year gap or so was a huge benefit. Honestly, I came back with so much more fervor than I had before.
I remember, speaking of that Lotleth Troll deck, I remember I made this Golgari deck for my standard, and this was one of the few times where I've actually like homebrewed something and didn't really like net deck, because even when we first started, I should say the second time I started in Commander, I'm sorry, in Standard, there was still net decking even back then. I mean, this was back in, like I said, I think Shards of Alara, or actually probably a little bit later than that, Return to Ravnica, somewhere around there. But this card I remember was a terror, like just a 3-mana 1/1 indestructible. Whenever it attacks, you get a 1/1 counter, and whenever a creature dealt damage by this creature dies, put 1/1 counter on it. This guy was so hard to remove back in the day, but this guy nowadays not even playable. Terrible. Like it is. I like power creep. I say I like a powerful cards, but power creep does kind of maybe remove a little bit of the potentially a little bit of the fun away. I don't know.
It will, and it'll get. We've talked about this before about the necessity of power creep, especially in today's world. Also, how's my video now? Because I switched up the way that it.
No, you're looking a lot smoother. Double frames.
I don't know. I don't know what happened with. I was connecting via Wi-Fi, and clearly that was not so great. At any rate, they have to push sets. Sets have to sell. In order to sell sets, you need to do certain things. You have basically 3 real ways to push sets. Number 1, gimmicks. Number 2, reprints. And number 3, power creep.
Yeah,
I did that on purpose. But it's really the basic way you're going to sell sets. You're not going to sell sets with it. Look at what they did the first time. The real first power down I can remember seeing, and so unfortunate because I was so hyped before it hit, was AFR. Matter of fact, it's kind of coined a phrase now that that at least in circles I run in, you AFR'd it, and what that means is
interesting. You
powered
bring
it down.
that up. My first thought for power down was core sets. I think back to like 7th edition, even when they called them editions instead of cores, is that it felt like it was a summarization minus a lot of the best things. And looking back now, I don't know if that's the right opinion to have had.
The core sets,
even to our last one, Core 21, it's a phenomenal product.
Well, okay. All right. So let's kind of roll that back in a bit. The worst set I recall ever was not a core set. It was Fallen Empires.
Okay.
Those were bad when they were released. Like they were just this is bad.
Fun point.
Dirtily bad.
That's the oldest sealed product I have is a single pack of Fallen Empires because it was cheaper than any single collector's pack.
So I do want to get to a couple of questions for Daniel.
Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
He's got a couple of questions out there. But the core sets, they were never meant to be powerful sets, right? They were meant to be, here is the framework with which you will build around playing in the current formats that they had available. And the formats keep evolving. And they keep tinkering with things, right? I love that Dual Brain put that video out. I hope you watched it. They're going to stop making Commander at some point, or I'm sorry, collector boxes at some point. And I agree. They'll morph into something else. They'll be super pooper boxes or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, they've nuked every product they've ever had. And they will, continue to tweak the dials. Now, the problem they're running into, and just like a lot of video games, is the power creep making their premier format, which is standard, I don't want to say unplayable, but unfun for people like me. Like, I don't want to get in and have the game decided on turn 2 or 3. That's not fun to me. So they're going to have to address power creep at some point. Now, because it is a rotating format, it will eventually rotate out, but I think they shot themselves in the foot making the 5-year foundations and the 3-year standard rotation. I think that was a mistake. I'm saying it now. I'm saying, that's going. I'm going to continue to have that opinion that I think it creates more problems than it solves. With people whining about prices and whatnot, it's still pricey. If you want the good cards to play in the meta decks that are out there,
well, that's what I think that's part of what keeps it around. As much as I would love to rally against higher prices, I watch a lot of financial education stuff. I think all of us are pretty tuned into that idea. There is something to be said about charging more for a product because it will sell more. That is a legitimate thing in economy As far as
sure, in purchasing psychology, yes.
Yeah, if you took a 40-inch OLED TV and you sold it for $250, people would question the quality. If you don't charge more, you won't sell as much. And I think this is unfortunately one of those areas where if we keep wishing for cheaper and cheaper card prices, it's going to turn into literally playing cards instead of collectible or trading cards. There has to be a certain value in it. And I think charging more for the play boxes kind of sucks, but it also brings up the floor a little bit. Charging more for collector boxes, as we have all experienced, I also think that it is good for the longevity of the game.
Well, and here's why I believe that they went the direction they did with extending the rotation time, is they didn't want to decrease the set release time, right? So, okay, we're going to charge more. We're going to release more sets, but you can play them longer, right? Instead of, okay, we'll keep the 18-month format rotation, but we'll slow down the release cycle, even if we keep the prices high.
I don't even know if I agree with them keeping the prices high. Like, I don't know. I was able to get play boosters for 102. I mean, there are sources you can get them that are like well below MSRP. Now, granted, the source that I have is basically like a distributor, so it's not like a normal way of getting.
That's not the normal purchase flow, and not everybody's going to do that. Not everybody can do that, and if that's the way that most of the product flowed, they would stop that.
There is something to be said about. I mean, Rudy is the number 2 Magic the Gathering content creator, right? It's the
number 1 on Patreon.
Well, that's my secondary point here.
And how long has he been on YouTube?
Well, we've got the Professor,
10 years,
6.9 years,
Rudy, and then you have Magic the Gathering. Legitimately, Wizards of the Coast and Magic the Gathering is the 3rd largest Magic the Gathering content creator, which just continually blows my freaking mind. The number 1, Brian, the Professor, just does not want to monetize in the same way that number 2 or number 3 does. Number 2, being Rudy, capitalizes on his Patreon account. The subscription model there, where he's getting $15 a month, if I'm correct, still
minimum, $15 a month, and I think there's like a legacy subscriber, like they were a little bit cheaper, and then he raised the price, so then you can't get that price anymore. But if you're in that price, you're locked in for now.
So whatever. At that, like for $15 a month, you're getting a near distributor access. Or
it is a steal, and it pays for the subscription.
Right. If you
as long as you buy once per month.
Hold on.
Actually, even more than that.
We have to qualify that. On some things, you have near distributor pricing.
Oh, yes.
Certainly not on some of the most hype things like collector boxes.
Fucking
not
right.
But you're
like Final Fantasy.
You're still going to save, even if you just save tax, you're still paying your subscription cost. Like it is so hard not to get the value, and not only that, he's way more dependable than any other place. I wouldn't trust any other place more than him.
Well,
he doesn't. He's not going to do anything with your.
Not a sponsor,
but open
Game Nerds
singles. He's not going to open boxes in a master case and look for the card and then sell all the. Like, he's not going to do that. You don't have time to do that.
I will legitimately say that I have had better consistency with delivery from Rudy and his pirate shipping shenanigans than I have from Amazon.
Okay,
legitimately,
you're not taking into account sources like Game Nerds. They have no shipping cost over 100 when it's over $100. Yeah. They have no taxes. You can buy the collector boxes and all the things that Rudy doesn't sell you at the MSRP. The biggest problem there is it's just like you have like that feeding frenzy either on Amazon or at your local game store where you may not get it. You may not get it at all. But Rudy's run into that before too, where he sells out in minutes, right? So
absolutely. Well, and I think that's twofold there with Rudy Alpha Investments and the way he holds his Patreon is as some of the market rises, he will not be offering at what he got it for, which I cannot throw any shade at. as someone who is a secondary market reseller, I mean, I literally have a favorites. I go to Final Fantasy gift bundle every morning, probably 2 or 3 times a day because I'm unhealthy about it. And I look at it over and over. There is no way I would sell it for what I got it for. Why the fuck would Rudy? Like, as someone who probably has multiple warehousing locations, shipping centers, possible storefronts, we don't even know at this point.
Sure.
Why
I'm
would
not,
he
I'm not even
sell
sure
it?
where we're going with this conversation, but yes, you can get them at non-LGS pricing. But then what all of us have just talked about, though, cuts off the LGSs at the knees. And I do feel the LGS
Absolutely.
is a critical piece of the ecosystem. Without it, you don't have face-to-face interaction. And we've already talked about how shitty
That's the weird thing for
Arena
me,
is Amazon won't
it-
let you play
it-
there. Rudy won't
it-
let you play there, and neither will Game
for
Nerds.
me. I have 3 local gaming stores. Only 2 I can play at. One old man, he doesn't have a play area. 3 stores I can go to within 1 hour. I don't. I just don't. So honestly, for me, and I again love the variance that we have in our experiences in the market, in the gameplay, in how we interact in general. If there was no local gaming store for me to go to, I wouldn't miss a beat. There would be no detriment to me.
But
The only,
there might
the
be.
only time I go down there is to resell singles at a loss that I
There-
could do far better on TCG Player.
There would be no direct impact to you, but overall, for the health of the game, without bringing in the new players, right? That's where the true new players that buy the physical cards come into play, is in LGSs. Sorry, you don't have people out there that have never played the game before that suddenly go onto Amazon and go, you know what? I'm going to randomly search for Magic the Gathering and buy some product. That's not how that works.
Well, no, maybe they type in Final Fantasy, like Benson.
Sure,
Huge
the
Final Fantasy
cross-pollination.
fan. He types it in. He doesn't know anything about Magic. He types in new Final Fantasy because he wants to, right? And it comes up with a Magic the Gathering thing. Similar with maybe a lot of these crossovers. But for me, I just wouldn't miss a single beat if there was no local gaming store in all of Vermont. There would be no change for me. And because of how small we are, I mean, I think in the township that you live in, there are more people than my entire state. So to lose my market isn't to lose a market.
It not directly, but indirectly, yes, because there's a cumulative effect there. And if we kill off LGSs, yes, it will affect all of us. The game will disappear.
So just to interact a little bit with the audience, I know that local gaming stores are a very staple thing in America, sparse as they are, depending on your community size. I wonder what that is like overseas. Daniel, what is it like in the United Kingdom? Not sure if you're in Ireland, England, some of the outlying countries there. What is it like in the area that you're at? Does it take a long time to get to one? What is the population of one? I know that for both Matt and Bob, you've got the pick of the crop, whereas I'm just looking for the finest of few fruits.
I'd also like to ask Daniel, where did you learn about and get first involved with Magic? Was it online, at a friend's house, through an LGS? How did you get introduced? Where did you go when you first got it? In all honesty, I wasn't introduced through an LGS. I was in a military dorm and some dudes were playing on the floor and I had no idea what they were doing. Weird looking cards on the floor. And, it went from there. But all of my purchasing went through LGSs, right? So I wasn't truly introduced through an LGS, but they certainly were a significant part of the early days of Magic for me.
It's interesting.
I think my first experience was, I feel like it was through friends, through a friend group. But the moment that became a thing, the first stop was the LGS. Like,
right.
It was convenient. Where like my walk home from school literally walked past an LGS every single day. So like, it was super convenient just to be able to walk home or walk by home. And then also we also had, I don't know if I could call it an LGS. At the end of our street, we had this like ice cream parlor that also sold like trading cards. And I think they're also kind of like Blockbuster. So stuff. It was like an ice cream parlor, and then they sold like rented like VHSs, and then also had like some card area. So that was my experience growing up there. I kind of had two different places, and then there was a third place that it was like a comic store that he charged. I remember he charged so much money for these packs. It was just MSRP. He was just the only one that followed MSRP.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't call them LGSs that I recall back when I first started.
Right.
Art shop.
Oftentimes they would be
Hobby
a comic
store?
book store, right? Like,
hobby shop.
you'd go to the comic store and they had Magic cards there, right? There's some tables in the back.
Time I ever saw Magic. So at one point, my mom started doing drugs, right? Before that, she was really authoritarian. My brother, we went to a hobby shop. We were looking for model toys, like little race cars and like robots. Gundam was a thing in the mid 90s. And he found Mirage. They had the starter decks for Mirage. I remember that little palm tree. And we went home and we were looking at them, and they were the coolest thing. I'd never been exposed to something like that before. I mean, again, growing up poor, there's not a lot of exposure to stuff. So it was mostly used books and newspapers for me. So like comics and like paperbacks. So I'd never seen anything like the artwork on Magic the Gathering cards. Neither did my mother. So the second she laid eyes on what we were having so much excitement with, they were all gone, locked away for a long time. And it wasn't until I was about 13, I was on a trip with the Boy Scouts, and I ended up breaking my wrist within hours of starting the trip for the weekend. So I couldn't really do much except go down to some of the local stores. I was able to walk around, and it was the 10th anniversary of Magic the Gathering. And I never had an experience like I did with that. The local Boy Scout troop, they were able to show me how to play Magic. I picked up a bunch of cards at the local shop. And since it was at Martha's Vineyard, I don't know why, but I've always had this tie between Magic and a certain amount of a minimum bar for entry. There was a price, a certain exclusivity that was always tied with Magic the Gathering. And it's interesting seeing a resurgence in that way with collectors, and down the pipeline in just a few years. I absolutely agree with you, Bob. I think we will see a further evolution in expense when it comes to how people can interact with Magic. I think M30 was too damn much, but this new fervor for Magic the Gathering collector boxes shows, to me at least, there is a higher minimum that people are willing to pay.
Was Magic the Gathering your first card game, guy? Your guys' first card game?
Well,
mine was Pokemon.
When I started, there was no other card trading card game. Magic was it in 1994. Sorry.
Yeah. For me, the first one I ever interacted with, playing cards, stuff like that, War and Solitaire and all that. But I got into Pokemon actually before Magic the Gathering. As far as looking at the cards, I never understood how to play the game, but then I got into Magic, and it was just a whole other thing.
Not quite OG, but sort of close at least. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't not really fair for me because there were no other trading card games. I was playing D&D back in the 80s. I've been playing Pinochle since I was before I can even remember what age I was. But if I assume you meant, Matt, trading card games, but that was the first. But then Lord of the Rings came out in 1995. Middle Earth collectible cards, MECCG, came out with the Lord of the Rings game that was just too complicated. I actually still have 2 of the alpha boxes of that sitting on my shelf. Had them for a very long time, and it's just kind of too convoluted, that game. But Magic was the first, and I was kind of too old. I mean, I was already 23 by the time I started playing Magic. Came out when I was 22. So by the time Pokemon really came along, and I was a bit older, so Pokemon never really resonated with me the way that it does for other people, younger folks that kind of grew up on some Pokemon cartoons and stuff.
Saturday morning cartoons. That was a staple for me. I got to see what Brock, Misty, and Ash are getting up to. What's that?
I watch it before school every day. Which is kind of sad because I don't like Pokemon now. I don't hate it or anything. It doesn't really do anything for me. There's no nostalgia for it, which is really weird for me. Every now and then I'll see, like, I was at the one of the thrift stores near me. I was looking through the aisles, and I came across one of those tins. It was like kind of like a lunchbox tin, of Pokemon, and I saw $2 on it. And I was like, well, for $2, I mean, I gotta buy it. Right. I looked it up just out of curiosity what it's worth. It's worth like $15 to $20 because it's only Scarlet Violet. But I mean, like, I don't own many Pokemon things, and it was a big part of my childhood. I collected a lot of the cards, and it was the very first thing that got me into TCGs. Followed by that was Yu-Gi-Oh! I unfortunately gave away all of my Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards because I was like, I'm not playing these anymore. So I gave them away to a childhood, and I shouldn't say childhood friend, kind of a childhood friend, my mom's my mom's friend's son. So it sucks because those cards were worth a ton of money now, and they were just sitting there doing nothing. So in my head, I was just like, I'd rather have somebody use them and play with them than they just sit there. But I wish I didn't have that mindset when I was younger. But
I'll be honest with you, to sit down and play a TCG style game, though, Magic would not be my first pick. But the problem is that's the most common that I can get people to sit down and play. Matt, I've actually played with you the one that I would choose to play ahead of Magic most of the time, and that's because it's cooperative. And that's the Lord of the Rings LCG.
Oh, I was going to say Star Wars Destiny.
No, that's also a TCG. But
it's like, how do we fit Commander Raids into this?
I mean, essentially, Lord of the Rings LCG is a Commander Raids.
Yeah.
And it's very difficult. It's very, very challenging. And I would like to play through it all. There's hundreds of hours of play available, and the combinations you can come up with are just mind-blowing. Is about as much as like Magic. But it doesn't strike. It doesn't strike on two fronts. Number one, the financial aspect of it. So you're never going to pull a hit, right? They're LCG
living card game.
They're game pieces. They are literal game pieces. The second part is that it doesn't appeal to people that are competitive. And when I say competitive, I call it competitive when you play a game like that that's co-op. It is competitive, really, but it's competitive against a non-entity, a non-real entity. It's hard, it's difficult, it's challenging. And you're competing against the mechanics of the game. I enjoy that. I don't particularly enjoy beating other players. That's not fun to me. I don't really care if I get beat. I hate bad actors, like what we see on Arena with roping and just, the wrong decks in the wrong spot just because they want a pub stomp. It's not a for fun environment in Arena. I think Arena is super toxic. If Magic only existed in Arena, the game would die. 100%. But
it would definitely be a completely different model. I don't know if it would. It wouldn't have the same surety of longevity that I think that the trading card aspect of it does. There being a physical item for people to lord over, to put up on their shelves, to have as a collectible aspect. I think we saw with the incredible and expected crash of NFTs that the digital marketplace as a area of ownership is a fucking scam. Hashtag metaverse is gonna, just
but that's what Bitcoin is. That's what crypto is. They're just algorithms.
Absolutely. But when I can go to a cash register, a down payment on a Tesla, and they can take Bitcoin, Ethereum, the phenomenal. But when I would like to think that my monkey wearing a cool Hawaiian shirt is worth any money, oh my God, they are higher than I am.
Some things definitely fail hard. And if you don't want to fail hard, make sure that you like and subscribe what you're watching right now, please. And if you want to win hard, go ahead and become a member so that you can watch the next 30 minutes. I didn't even ask you, Matt. I know you have product in hand. Are you going to do it tonight?
I mean, I can.
I would say that we probably should get started.
Give people. Well, I mean, we were going to do it all at once, but I mean, I guess I can go ahead and schedule.
I really don't want to do all at once.
I do,
bro. Time capsule. I know. So many people watch the stream. So few likes. I just don't understand. It's so like wild.
It's all
I
you,
do.
Pat.
I understand. I like a lot of videos in my head. I like them. I like watching them, but I don't physically like videos. That's just not how I interact with.
I do.
I don't comment. I don't do any of what everybody wants you to do. I don't interact with the video besides going. Here's what I do. I watch the majority of every video I watch. I don't understand when people like click on a video, watch it for 35 seconds, and go next video. I'm like, I don't do that. I look at a video, I watch a video or I watch a content creator that I enjoy, and then I have it on the side monitor. And the majority of those videos, I watch the entire thing. Like, it's crazy to me that people just like click off videos in 30 seconds.
30 seconds. The average is like 7 seconds, right? Which is mind-boggling to me. But I would love to address Daniel's question. Who wants to go first?
Kaikar wins Fury. God, I don't even know how that's a fucking question, honestly, Daniel. There is one card that is the best among the best. It costs one, a red, a white, and a blue. Fuck America. It creates spirits. When you cast a non-creature spell, you can then sacrifice a spirit for a red. It's 3 and a 3, and it's flying. It is easily one of my favorite commander. I gotta say, Edric, Spymaster of Trust, you're a close second, but you're too dang grody. People know what's happening. Everybody likes you. That's the problem. No. I want to be the problem. I want to put out my commander, and everybody goes, Bird Wizard, what are you doing with that? Too damn much. That's what I'm doing with it.
I'll be curious to hear what Matt is. I think Matt's shifts all the time. That'd be my guess.
My attention shifts a lot, but I always come back to Henzi Toolbox Tori or Animar. Both of those are like very powerful. I have an Animar Cascade deck that I really, really love. I don't play it as much as I was playing it because my friend group
doesn't like it.
They don't love it because there's a lot of turns where I cascade a lot, and then like all of my team gets haste, and then they all have trample, and then they're all massive, and then I win. And that's kind of just how the nature of Cascade works. I either don't do anything, and I'm like kind of like I keep removing my commander, and I do nothing, or I play like the majority of my deck, and then just stomp the entire table. Now, Henzi Toolbox Tori is a little bit different in the sense, or in the way that it is very powerful. It is oppressive. It just does so much in being able to just dominate. You just get so much value. I mean, just every creature you have is discounted. Every creature draws you a card when it dies. It's just super strong. I thought Tanuk would be that. I thought it would be super impressive, super powerful. I haven't won a single game yet. Not a single game out of 10 games that I've played with that deck. I have not won a single one. I thought he would be one of the most broken commanders released. He's not. It's really fucking bad. I don't know. Maybe I built the deck terribly. I don't know. So yeah, I'm going to go Henzi Toolbox Tor with a close second as Animar. What about you, Bob?
Well, that question, and you may not grasp this yet, Daniel, please check out the link above that Time Capsule put out there. We created a specific commander format, and I've mentioned it a couple times with Commander Raids. It is a cooperative format where we don't play against each other. We all play with each other against a raid boss. That's pretty much the only way I love to play. So it puts an entirely different meaning on what your favorite commander would be. And certainly that would be a different question to ask all of us. And since I almost exclusively only play commander raids at this point, well, my answer is Tulane. And that's because he just does kind of disgusting things when he does pop off, right? I wouldn't play that at a table other than a group hug deck, period. He's my favorite group hug commander because he lets me churn through the deck quickly and I can pop off a whole bunch of things to watch other people do their things.
Yeah.
Right. It's not for me to win. I like to play the group hug deck strictly because it supercharges, even if it's competitive, it supercharges the games. Right. And it kind of gets rid of the dirtlers.
Like I get that disparity, right? As a bachelor, I am so singularly focused on me and my shit. But as a father, as a caregiver, as a husband, you are more focused on that. I'm going to spread it around. Let's see how this works out if other people are also enjoying this power. You know, I want to have a really bombastic turn. I want to be the most special I can be. And it's great to see how often you build decks and indulge in a play style where other people get to be the focus. And I wonder if that is reflective of your attitude as an adult.
Well, it certainly it harkens to my nature of team spirit. Smells like team spirit, baby. That's me.
No, I'm thinking about throwing the baby in the pool. Like it's
so if I had to pick a second, I'll be honest with you, it's a very recent commander, and it's not even one that I've built because I don't even have the card yet. What is it, Pat?
You'll get your lightning when I get my thrumming pool, Bob.
So Lightning Army of One. It did. Have we released that to the public yet? The Final Fantasy play?
I don't know. That'd be a Pat thing because I always forget to do it.
Well, at any rate, if you can search through our live plays, I don't know where it'll show up, but we do release the commander box break builds that we've done
approximately a week after we let them up for our members only. Yes, that's right. It's another reason for people to spend $1 a month. Come on, get off your high horse, folks.
I've also got a really cool video that I released this morning for members only.
That's a solid ass video.
I'm gonna revamp it a little bit because Bob brought up a couple different points that one specific point that I'm like completely wrong about that I need to edit out. Yeah. And then my intro is very, what's funny about the intro as I rewatched it, it reminded me of when Bob asked me to join the channel because he felt like he was very robotic in introing the video. I was like, well,
yeah, actually, do not watch my first videos on the channel. They are not good.
They're still there. If you want to have some fun, go.
Yeah, if you want to have a gig.
They say that this is one of the best cards that you can get for a new Magic the Gathering.
In today's video, we will talk about... I don't know. It's really weird because I don't normally sound that way. It sounded so strange. It's because I tried to script just the intro. Everything else was like pretty good, but I tried to script the intro to be like more fluid and remove the uhs and the ums. Which it's funny because there's not very many ums or uhs in the beginning. I don't even think there is any. But as I started going through the video, it is so crazy. I started manually editing each individual one out. And I got to the point where I was like, I need to find a way to do this automatically because I'm not going to get through this video.
Is that why Descript's the sponsor of that video?
There's 455 ums and uhs in that video that I had to remove with Descript. Descript, I got to tell you, AI, there's another thing with AI. What it does is it completely analyzes the video. Wow. This is not a sponsor from Descript, but they have a water logo because I'm not going to pay for it. Right. I can actually pay for it. The editor seems pretty damn good, but
it's
anyway, the script to the video, it makes a whole script, like an actual a text script of the entire video.
You can create closed captions with them too, and they can.
I thought about it
with the paid version. They can export it in different languages. So if we ever thought about really expanding the channel to foreign markets, that's one of the ways Mr. Beast became a beast.
I hate to interrupt, but before we get too far afield, I want to turn that question, Daniel's question, back around on him. If you're playing Commander, what's your favorite? Let us know. And watch some of the Commander raids play. You'll find videos if you Google it to see what it's all about, and then think about what Commander you would play there. I would love to. So come back next week after you've watched some Commander raids play and learn about it, and then tell us what your favorite Commander raids Commander you would like to maybe build around. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt the flow there, but I didn't want to get too far off of Daniel's question there.
It's all good.
So,
no, sadly, we are the only channel currently making Commander Raids gameplay. Don't get me wrong, we had one of the creators of the Commander format help us, create the game, but we are the only channel currently doing it.
We've also got a lot of different interviews on the channel that are really awesome. Gavin Dugan, we had Ruth Thompson, who was one of the artists, one of the older OG artists. I shouldn't say OG, but one of the older artists in Magic the Gathering. She did Unholy Strength, if I remember correctly, was one of them. We had her in there. She shared a ton of experience with her experience with WotC with creating art. She shared a bunch of her art, a bunch of stories. We've had LGS owners. Most recently, we had Recess Games on. Like, we have all kinds of awesome guests that. I think we bring something that not a lot of people do.
Cardboard, one of the people on the Commander committee,
we've also we've also had Lance Cothern from Moonshot Rip and Ship has been on here. Right. We had Mr. Llama SC, if you do any Diablo 2, has been on here.
Seriously, I cannot believe that.
We've had
Again,
Nikachu.
Thank you so much for that.
Nikachu is another big one.
Magic content creator. He's been on here. And we're hoping to get some other name brand people you would know on here again. And I don't want to discount any of the other guests that we've had on as well that aren't the larger content creators.
No. You're right. Fuck Prime.
I'm just saying, we've had other people that are wonderful guests, but you just may not recognize the name. So yeah, I feel very fortunate that when I reach out, we've even had Gavin. You forget that he was a guest on here as well.
No, I was the first one. I said Gavin Dugan. He's the one. He's one of our. I think our coolest guest. Not necessarily as a person, really cool guy, but coolest guest is in I think he's the closest to what Commander is, because he was part of the rules committee and he's just for me that's
we were
in
Vegas when we were at the OGM 30 show. Yeah, I kind of developed if you want to call it a man crush on him. There's a whole room full of name brand people, right? You name Magic people, Voxy,
household names.
Let's put it this way: Jimmy Wong literally walked up to our table. I didn't even know it. Matt had to tell me. He goes, "Didn't you see when Jimmy Wong walked up to your table?" I'm like, "Nope," because I was busy.
I don't think that was pretty cool.
With Gavin, we had Hammer Thumbs was in the room. Shelton Henry, rest in peace, was in the room. And the one person I really wanted to play with, because I was sitting at a table when they were all coming in, streaming all these celebrities from the Magic sphere, and I'm sitting there ready to play. I have my deck out, I have my play mat out, and I'm wanting to play. They said we're going to play with Magic, and Magic
in his hand
celebrity. And I'm like, I just want to play, and all these other people are sucking up, trying to get signatures, selfies and shit, and I'm like. And Gavin walks over and he goes, "You want to play?" I'm like, "Hell yeah!" I didn't know who he was. I had no idea that he was I didn't know he was a co-commander creator at the time.
Well, that's one of the interesting things. I mean, as a content creator here on YouTube, right? I never thought that some of the most impactful people in my Magic the Gathering or video game playing career would not be people that have a Twitter following of hundreds of thousands, right? When Bob posts something on Facebook, it doesn't get thousands of likes, but he's one of the most important people I listen to. When Matt posts something on Facebook, I don't think he does that. Yeah, but he's one of the people I love listening to about how he interacts with the game. And same thing with some of the folks that we've gotten as incredible subscribers and channel members. Like when I get to hang out with Greg, right? Not gonna name drop you, but boy, you. When we get to hang out, it's a phenomenal time. Literally just chill for hours, just bullshit, doing whatever. That is a great interaction I never would have gotten if it wasn't for the game of Magic. So I am superbly thankful over and over for so many different aspects of it, again and again, for the gathering and the community. So thank you everybody who's joined us tonight, who's liked and subscribed the video. It's wonderful to be able to interact with you guys and to be able to create content that is not just a conversation between two of my closest friends, but also with you out there as well. So thank you for all of your interactions. They're always welcome. That's why we turn on subscriber mode, because it, trims out the Russian bots. Fuck.
Yeah, there seems like to be a lot of weird. Like we had the, like I said, one of the owners or the owner of Recess Games in Ohio, and there was like a bunch of like really weird, like I don't know, just fucking weirdos, man. And,
Do you like the way farts smell?
Like kiss your bald head or something. I'm like, what is wrong with people? Like, nobody says these things in real life. It's just not real.
I mean, don't get me wrong. We got a little bit of action tonight, but that just means we got another subscriber because they went through the diligence of.
Well, no, them saying those things. There's always one person that reminds me, go turn on subscriber only for 5 minutes, because like the majority of people / bots won't wait 5 minutes to leave a dumbass post.
Right. Yeah, it takes a really dedicated troll, and at that point, that's when we know we've made it. We succeeded.
And sometimes the trolls can be converted to normal viewers, and actually it happens sometimes, fairly often, where like they get like sucked in. Maybe in the 5 minutes they've got to wait to troll us. They're like, hey, these guys are actually pretty good. And I'm like, oh, never mind. Maybe they'll still troll, but at least they're a subscribing troll. And I'm okay with that.
One of the things that I love about our channel, and not to pat ourselves too hard on the back here, is it's natural, right? It is. This is it. This is like if you were hanging out with the three of us. This is literally what it would be like sitting around talking to the three of us about Magic and games. Now we've talked an awful lot lately about Magic. Not that I don't love talking about Magic, but there's a reason we call ourselves Cardboard Conversations. And really, it's more than just cardboard. We do like to cover all different types of games, including video games, board games, just whatever kind of tiddlywinks, on your phone games. We like to cover it all. And, we don't want to be boxed in. Unfortunately, I think that part of what stunts part of our growth is that it doesn't fit neatly into the algorithm. As Matt likes to put it, when YouTube does the YouTube things, it doesn't like when we drift afield. But we're going to cover that too. And so never be afraid, any of you out there in the audience, to truly bring up anything gaming related. Try to be respectful of the other people in the audience and us as well. Though if you're not, oh well, F you. But it's, a truly sort of geek hangout type environment that I want to keep this way. And I will not be party to a sponsor that would curtail anything we would ever say. So I want sponsorships, but if they give us a shit product, they're going to get a shit review.
Any sponsorship we take, I shouldn't say if, I should say when it ever happens, I want to make sure that whatever clause we sign or whatever paperwork we sign is like, we have free reign to say whatever we want. I'm never going to be like, you can't say anything bad about our stuff. It's like, well, then no. We need to be able to say our opinion. We can't just be, we can't be bought, I guess is going to be the best way to say it. That's not true. They can pay us a lot of money, and then I'll be like, yeah, sure, this is the best product I've ever had.
Outside of gambling sponsors, I don't think that Wizards of the Coast or any sleeve manufacturers could pony up the value that we would need.
It'd be a lot.
I really
bought, but
if
Ultimate Guard would be my number one. I've tried to get them as a sponsor for the channel multiple times. I will continue to try as we grow bigger and bigger and become, somewhat relevant for them. I hope that one day they'll be like, hey, these guys are worthwhile for us. Because
I'm sorry, who was that? Which one?
Ultimate Guard. They're katana sleeves. They're the one that make katanas.
There's one I want ahead of them, and I know Pat knows who it is.
It's Dragon Shield because of the shuffle field, baby.
No, make playing cards.
Basswood Nexus doesn't make card sleeves, Bob. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about make playing cards.
Also, I got this huge. Look at this thing. This thing is massive. It's an Indominus Rex.
No one can look at it. Green screen.
I know. It's like
it's too green.
It's too big.
Yeah,
that's what she said, massive. Giggity. Speaking of too big, this show has been too big, folks. It is that time. Time is the most precious thing that you have.
They ran out of free
content. I sincerely want to thank all of you for giving your time to us tonight. but it is time for us to
To
head
Edge
to
for
the member only
Eternity.
section. So for $1 a month, you can actually subscribe now, and if you hurry up, you get to watch Matt crack a box and build a deck for Commander Raid. This will be an interesting one. This is an interesting one. I hope you have time tonight, Time Capsule, because
it's gonna be real sad.
it's gonna be
Can't wait to be
interesting. I just want to
disappointed.
put it that way, and we'll leave that as a cliffhanger or a Klingon, however you want to put it, and say thank you very much,
Teaser.
everybody. Please
Teaser.
show up again
Cliffhanger.
next Saturday at 7 Eastern.
I'm so
Bye.
bad at sharing the members only link. Oh.
It's okay.
Oh,
we
you haven't
gave you
put the
plenty of
members
time
only
for you to
link
go
yet,
get
man?
it.